So when we're thinking about the target audience for this course, obviously people who are interested in photography. So they have a DSLR camera already and now want to get the most out of their equipment. So they enjoy taking photos. They're very passionate about photography, but they kind of want to take their photography to the next level. So they've played around with their camera a little bit, and now is the time for them to really get the most out of it. And so we're classing these people as enthusiasts and hobbyists who have a real passionate interest in photography, and what they want to do is improve their skills. They know their way around the camera, so they own a DSLR camera already. So they're probably not going to be people who just want to take photos on their mobile phone and optimize those for publishing on social media. This really isn't the course for them. This is a course for people who want to explore photography with a DSLR camera. They might have an aspiration to one day become a freelance photographer or even start a side business in photography. But essentially, their main motivation is they want a creative outlet. So they're passionate about photography, but they want to now pursue this in a more serious way. Perhaps they might have another creative passion. So they might be an interior designer. They might be into fashion. They might be blogging about food. They might be into travel. And so if these people are able to take their own photos and combine that with their current creative outlet, then that's going to be a really unique skill for them to have. And we think that there's going to be a lot of people who are interested in the Certificate 4 in design, specialising in photography, but are just simply unwilling to commit to the 2 years and the $6,000. So this is a good way for us to offer them something a little smaller, a little cheaper, and a little more streamlined that they can then use as their introduction to the world of photography. So we have some demographics here. We think that they'll be mostly female, a little bit younger than our normal target learner. So in their mid to late 20s. We think they're mainly going to be in the major city areas. And I think there's going to be a lot of these people who are currently working or self-employed. And we see that for those who enroll in the Certificate 4 in Design photography course, over 90% have completed some sort of post-high school course. So these won't be people who've never studied before. They're likely to have done something, and 30% will probably have done a bachelor degree. So these will be educated, young adults who are educated and who are looking to pursue their creative passion in photography. And the fact that they already own a DSLR camera indicates that their capacity to pay for the course should be quite high. Okay, so the course has been designed in a fairly unique way. So as I mentioned earlier, the course is not accredited. It's not a nationally recognized course or a statement of attainment or a qualification in any way. So that gives us a lot of flexibility to allow us to design the course that we want to do rather than follow a training package. So the course design team have created the course, structured the course into 6 levels. So rather than study periods or modules, we're terming them as levels, and each level builds on the previous one. So the first level, we start off with basic functionality of the DSLR. So looking at the automatic modes and the semi-automatic modes, and we start to work with the Lightroom software, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. And we start to post, we get the students straight away posting images on Pinterest. So that's one of the unique things about this course is we jump in and get them taking photos straight away. In level 2, you're moving more into the manual camera operation, so you're starting to get a little bit more in depth, a little bit more involved. And we move them into how to edit images. So level 1, is more about file management and moving images from your camera to your computer. Level 2, you actually start to manipulate the images that you've taken. In level 3, it starts to get more involved into the specific specializations of photography. So this is where students can really get their teeth into things that they're interested in. So we start with the outdoor genres, so including photojournalism, taking street photography, looking at sports, nature, landscapes, family photography. So this is where the students will build on the things they've learned in the first 2 levels and now start to apply them to the more specialist photography areas. In level 4, we look at light. So the types of artificial, natural, and mixed lighting and how to shoot for those situations. And so then that builds into how to shoot night events and other special occasions. For example, weddings or other events. This is where you would learn about that in level 4. In level 5, you also do more portraits and more weddings, and then we're looking at black and white photography as well. And in level 6 is where it kind of brings it all together. So we look at creating a portfolio, and then how to publish your work through social media or wherever else you want to publish it. And this is where we talk about the pathway to becoming a freelance photographer. So the interesting thing about this course is the method of learning. So a lot of other photo courses out there, which I'll touch on a little later, have a lot of written material that you need to read through. So it's a bit of a hard slog. Whereas our method that we've devised for this course is students will watch an instructional video. They might read through and do some learning activities and materials, and then we tell them go and take some photos. So from the very beginning in level 1, it's all about taking photos. Then you do some assignments, and from those assignments you'll get feedback on your photos from the photographer trainers, and that's how you move through the course. And each level builds on the last one. So as I said, because it's a non-accredited course, it's not a qualification, we've got a lot more flexibility in how we structure the course. So the course content is quite unique. So here in the course design team, we've created over 100 instructional photography videos that are custom made. So they're only Open College's videos. They're done in-house by our video team and with our photography trainers. And these videos essentially teach the students the fundamentals of photography, how to use the equipment, and give examples on how photos are taken. We also have interviews with a number of professional photographers who give their insights on things like wedding photography, sports photography, photojournalism, and that's a really useful insight for students into, and how the different genres are different to each other. There's a Pinterest discussion board, which is where students post their photos, and that's where they give feedback to other students and where they get feedback from their trainers. And it's a really good way for them to connect with the photographic community of Open Colleges. And it also has them, using social media to display their photos, which is an essential way for them to get their work out there and get their work in front of their audience. We also are going to run a number of live chats with trainers and course coordinators that will be voluntary, that students can join and get information about the upcoming topics and clarify any questions they might have about the course material. And of course, there are the discussion forums within OpenSpace. So it's a very engaging, very interactive course content. It's not boring, static PDF documents, which a lot of the photography courses out there contain. It's it's very very visual and very interactive. So in terms of the assessments and the activities that students do, there are a number of quizzes through each topic to help students sort of stay on track. It helps them, keep on top of the topics. And then we ask them to post the images that they do take to the Pinterest boards, so that not only we have evidence that they're actually doing the assignments, but we can give them feedback, and they can look at the photos that other students are posting. There will also be discussions on these boards around the photos and feedback given. And there's a number of assignments that they'll need to do. So they're kind of like a photographic assignment where for a particular topic or for a particular module level, the students will get a brief. They'll need to read the brief, go out and take the photos required in the brief, and then explain the process that they went through to take those images and to justify essentially what they've been learning. Then in level 6 is where they'll create their portfolio. So the portfolio that they create in level 6 is basically a record of their the output from their course, and they can use that portfolio as a professional to take the first steps towards a professional career. So they'll actually finish the course with a photographic portfolio of images that they can display, exhibit, show their family and friends. So I think that's a really nice way to finish the course off.